time or whatever. And as soon as he was out, he's gone again. They got him in Arizona, they got him in Tijuana, and the third time, I think when they got him.
I tell you, give us a million.
You're good. Yes, they're good.
And it is remarkable that the wreck of the USS Hornet was discovered in February of 2019, just a matter of weeks before Richard Cole's death in April of that same year. Well, very much alive is Wild Cargo, and we hope that her flight today will serve to commemorate the memory of Richard Cole and all of the other Doolittle Raiders that took part in that famous action on the 18th of April 1942. So imagine, if you will, Mr. J.R. Smith and Mr. John Ferguson as Doolittle Raiders in absentia as they prepare to launch from our runway today in Wild Cargo. Again, with those right engines turning, burning. Yes, there's a little bit of a slipstream, so that's why our plane's staying well below the tree line and taking such a long run as far as takeoff. Once airborne, however, things should smooth out and we'll be able to enjoy a great flight today by one of the great planes, again with Mr. John Ferguson and Mr. J.R. Smith at the controls of Wild Cargo. The Air Force would pioneer the truly heavy bomber in the form of the Handley Page Halifax and the Avro Lancaster, which itself was derived from an earlier medium bomber, the Avro Manchester. So think, if you will, back to 1941, 1942, you would be more likely to see a twin-engine bomber, such as a Lockheed Vega, or a Lockheed Hudson, or a Martin Maryland, or a Douglas Boston, a Handley Page Camden, an Armstrong Whitworth Whitley, or a Vickers Wellington in flight that was one of the heavy bombers. So available in quite large numbers during the Second World War, these were the planes that really brought home the airborne much lower altitudes than the heavy bombers, putting themselves really in the... Some later versions actually had solid noses filled with an array of machine guns and cannon that could be used for ground strafing runs and ground attack missions, not unlike the museum's own de Havilland Mosquito, the Mark 26 version, which is a fighter bomber. So the B-25, serving ably as both a bomber and a fighter bomber, would have packed quite a punch. Having discharged her bomb load, could then address targets of opportunity, filling them full of lead, as it were, with all of the guns bearing down on her target. The great exhaust note of the B-25, those Wright Cyclones just thundering away. Nothing else quite like it. With the later B-26, which was in fact a development of a Douglas design, initially the A-20 Havoc, which was developed further, and the later B-26 continued in service with the United States Air Force until the Vietnam War. So touching down now, Mr. J.R. Smith and John Ferguson, Wild Cargo returning safely to the MAM. A round of applause, please, for our vigilant Doolittle Raiders today. So it is my belief, although we might be lucky, I don't know, it's my belief that once they complete their role, they will return to their parking space.
One of the great planes of aviation and part of a long line of aquatic flying birds. So touching down neatly and squarely on our runway, a round of applause please for Mr. Bob Koch and Mr. Bob Hill, making the most of conditions today in Virginia Beach. We are so happy to see that plane fly.
There's going to be a lot of wind, so...
Good.
It's not raining like what I was controllers, and he was stuck.
There it is.
We have friends that are with the Patriot car down
Yeah, the other guys are right up here. I was here yesterday. Oh, okay. All right, not bad.
Mosquito is incredibly strong and versatile, not only for its ability to sustain damage, but also for the fact that it can carry an impressive bomb load. The original design specification for the Mosquito called for a bomb load of 1,000 pounds. That's it, 1,000 pounds. However, by the time she finished service, these aircraft were carrying loads of up to 4,000 pounds of ordnance. In fact, they could carry the cookie bomb. That's the blockbuster bombs that were carried by Admiral Lancaster. So consider, the original concept for the plane was to create something that could fly at high speed, unarmed, and with virtual impunity into enemy airstrips. I know you want to hear those engines, so I'll stop talking. So Jeffrey de Havilland reasoned that the best way to effect a high-speed bomber aircraft was to remove equipment. Therefore, they improved the overall speed and range of the aircraft, providing for the installation of 10 fuel tanks in the wing. This plane, as I said, generally would carry a crew of 2. And the original concept was for the plane to be an all-weather, unarmed, high-speed bomber. So this airplane carried no defensive armament in its original versions. What we're looking at today is the fighter-bomber variant of the de Havilland Mosquito, which carries in its nose both cannon and machine guns. This took up a bit of the bomb bay, but don't be discouraged because this plane still could carry a bomb load of 2,000 pounds. Under each wing, and another 1,000 pounds on the interior bomb bay. They were able to increase the capacity of the original bomber almost immediately because what they did is they took the tail fin of the original 250-pound bombs and basically cut them in half. They found that it didn't really change the performance of the bomb as it was dropped, and so they were able to put more ordnance into the bomb bay. That could be used to find and fight German aircraft in the air in the skies over Germany at night. And again, using oboe and G and various other sophisticated systems developed at the Royal Telecommunications Establishment in the United Kingdom, the very same people who brought you radar. Yes, radar was developed in the United Kingdom and brought to the United States as part of an exchange of technology during World War II. Look it up. It's called the Tizard Commission. And so in exchange for cash, in order to keep the United Kingdom's economy afloat, they provided us with some very sophisticated technology, including advanced radar, and particularly the cavity magnetron. And it was these radar sets that were utilized by the night fighter crews of Mosquitoes who defended the RAF and their heavy bombers as they plied the skies over Germany, dealing with Messerschmitt Bf-110s, Junkers Ju-88s, as well as Messerschmitt 410s in the waning days of World War II. Ultimately dispatching the Luftwaffe and clearing the skies, the de Havilland Mosquito, along with planes like the Supermarine Spitfire, P-51 Mustang, and P-47 Thunderbolt, can certainly be considered more than a match for the Luftwaffe, and having been instrumental in its defeat during World War II. Undefeated in his record, here comes Mr. Mike Spaulding, returning now safely from his flight today in KA-114. A round of applause, please, for Mr. Spaulding. What a wonderful airplane, and such a sight to behold. I said it yesterday, very few beautiful airplanes came out of the war. I think the Spitfire is one of them, the Corsair another.